In the last episode I showed a couple games of Oaken Tower, and since I still had quite a few recordings ready, I wanted to show a couple more games in this video. So the way I start off most of my games is I upgrade a couple times and then I take the health. I transitioned into taking health because I think it makes you win easier and you can greed a bit more, and so overall you get more money than just taking the income immediately. Now in this game I immediately get the book that copies spears, and that's usually a very strong item early on because it gives you a 2-star almost guaranteed and makes you strong enough to win a lot of games. And I got the Pandora's box, which I really love if you get it early on to get your copy slots, so everything becomes 2-star styles quite easy. Then as money generation I got the book that gives money whenever it triggers itself or whenever a dagger triggers. Now I don't have any daggers yet, but I still think the money book is nice to have to generate a bunch of income. And here I also get the money shield, which at this point still was my favorite. However, now I'm slowly starting to prefer the money book as I'm playing more, just because I feel like some daggers are really easy to trigger more often, and so the money book gives you a little bit more income, a little bit more money when you get going. And also the money book at 2 stars gives income, which is really strong. So here I use the lost fragment into the cooldown reduction amulet to make the book 1 second. I get the frosty orb, and I think I made the book frosty, so I get even more income. That way I can basically transition into any build I want, and from here on it's a relatively easy run. Just make everything 1 second, and I think it's hard to mess up at this point. I just need to choose a build and then go for it. So I had a bunch of poison items in my inventory, but I chose not to go for it. And I'm just going for the shield build since I think that's very consistent. I have the shield that removes 20% of your debuffs, and that allows you to win against a lot of builds. And combining that together with the gold shield for income and the what's it called, the item that triggers adjacent shields, you pretty much get to 10 stars easily. Now you also see that the lost fragment slots were really helpful in getting everything 2-star. So at day 12 my build has kind of fully gotten going. I always like to get all the various boxes. I get a bunch of poison from it. I also got some luck from this, which is really nice. That way if I roll I'm more likely to get 3-star potions and other goodies. Now I luckily get more frost potions, and since I am using the frost orb, that's really strong. So now the frost orb will trigger a bunch of items multiple times whenever the frost orb gets triggered itself. And yeah, also generating a bunch of potions from the potion belts that I have in my inventory. You luckily do not have to have them equipped. So yeah, it's 3 potions basically. One last roll and I win, and I'm at 10 trophies again. Now this isn't really an endless build. I'm not gaining a lot of strength. I didn't have any 3 stars, so I just hop into the next game. So I get a money dagger here, which is a little bit greedy, and then I get my nemesis, the homebrew. So that's an item that gives you random stats, and whenever I try to go for it, I somehow managed to mess up. So I'm going for a lot of gold here, both the money book, money shield and the money dagger. I think it maybe is a little bit too much, and you saw that I really quickly lost there. So I was a bit too overconfident from the run before. So I hop into a new run. I get the gold shields again really early on. I really like that, so I can get going quickly. I get the time pendant, so I trigger it even more. And yeah, I'm also going for the potion belt, which again, I only have greed items in my inventory right now, so that is very dangerous, and I'm on my last life. So I quickly lose, and I went for way too many greed items. I like showing also my losses and not just my wins, because I think both kind of teach a lot of good lessons. So in this run, once again I have the homebrew, but I try to be a little less greedy, and I'm just going for like one permanent item and one gold item right now. I do get the Pandora's boxes, which I think are really strong early on. The burn usually gives you the win, and you also get your copy slots. Now I make the orb that gives you max health. I make that frosty. It's in the top left right now, and that just gives me so much more health if I get to trigger it a bunch. I am trying to figure out how I fit everything in, since I have quite a few ideas going here. And I do want to get the last slots Pandoraed up. But yeah, I'm on my last life, so I cannot really greed much more. And so I look for as many upgrades as I can. And I just about win there. But now I have 200,000 health, and at day 13 that's quite a lot, so I am starting to enter the safe zone again. Now in these fights I am just winning by the enraged timer, so the damage that you get for a fight taking a long time. Because I have so much more health than the enemies die quicker than I do, even though I am not dealing any damage to them. And that's how I got to 10 trophies in this run. Not a very clean run, but I think it was still fine. Hop into another run, get a bunch of 15 gold items, get ready to combine them at level 3 for the epic chests. I get the elven orb, so I thought might as well try some elven item. Get the gold shield again, go for some XP. And I'm just trying to figure out what elvish item I want to give. A lot of multicast. Now again I make some, I think the gold shield frozen because I want more gold. And yeah, I just win real quick because I have the spear with a lot of multicast and a couple potions on it. So I hop into another game. I level up a couple times. I think I take the income here, even though I do prefer the health. I get an early Pandora's box, and an early Pandora's box is usually a win, because I can copy items to get 2 stars easily, and then the early games I win because the Pandora's box itself does a lot of damage. I again go for the health orb. I think that's a Yulior orb or something. Yeah, and I go for the gold shield once again. Just increasing my health a bunch. I get the anti-debuff shield, so it looks like quite a standard run for me. And there's 10 trophies. Not quite a flawless game, but still pretty good. Up into another, try the same strat, 15 gold items into the gold shield. Then I try to combine, see what I get. Nature's Skull, always good for multicast on the shield. And I just try to trigger the shield as much as possible to get early gold. And from here on I'm rich enough to upgrade stuff, and I think quite easily win the rest of the game. I get another Pandora's box. Always like to put it in. And I just do another shield build. Make the cooldown 1 second of as many items as possible. I am on my last life, so it's a little bit scary, but I do have a build going, so I should be fine, I think. And now I also have the scaling shield, where every time it triggers it gains another armor. And I am back at, I think, 10 trophies after this one. Yeah, very nice. Just continuing on my grind. Again, level up a couple times. Get the poison bow, which I think if you get it early is really strong. It usually gets you a couple wins. And because I have the poison bow, I do allow myself to go for both the book and the gold shield and the goblet, because the bow is enough strength in itself to allow me to get a lot of gold. Now I do take the purple orb, since I think it can be a carry item if you get the spear that upgrades its damage every time you apply a debuff. And I'm not really getting this spear yet. However, I do manage to make the bow arcane as well. So I got some more debuffs on the bow, which also works, but it's not quite as strong. Now I have a 3-star potion, but sadly no 2-star items. So I'm kind of thinking about what I want to do. I get another 3-star potion in the shop, but I decided not to buy it since I'm not even using my first one yet. And I get to 10 trophies and start again, since I didn't really have an endless build going. So I level up a couple times, I take some health. Oh no, I took income here, my apologies. But I do think health is stronger. Yeah, I would have probably won there if I took the health. I get the homebrew, always dangerous. I get both the book and the shield, so again very greedy on my part. And I think if I'm looking at this game I might actually lose because I'm greeding so much here early on. But I do get Pandora's box, and that might be my savior here, since I'm definitely not saving myself with these decisions. Yeah, I'm going for way too much gold, but I am starting to realize it. That's why I'm not buying the extra books, gold books. Yeah, and I actually decided to sell the books because I know how greedy it was to go for both the book and the shield. So I do 3-star the golden shield in a couple days, because it's 3 times the money instead of triggering every third trigger. Instead of gaining gold every third trigger, it gains gold every trigger. I just tried to figure out how I fit everything in with the Pandora's box in the right slot. And I think I ended up losing there because I was too greedy. So yeah, this game I'm trying not to be as greedy, just buying some 15 gold items and the gold shield. But I won't also go for the book and also go for a goblet or the gold dagger. I'm at my last life, but I do have some stuff. Now I got back to 4 hearts and I have so much money that I think I'm starting to be strong enough that I can recover now. I did die there, which I didn't expect, so I'm back at quite a dangerous place. And I do decide to put the multicast on the scaling shield and not on my gold shield, because I cannot afford another loss. Now debuffs is my weakness because poison does damage underneath shields. So I really need to get this anti-debuff shield going quickly. Yeah, and I do put it in, and just in time because I did face a poison build immediately after. And I just about get to 10 trophies again in this run. So I upgrade, and again take the income, which I think is worse than the health. I get the gold book and again the gold shield and the goblet, so that's very greedy, but for some reason I just liked the shield so much in these earlier games. I get Pandora's box, which hopefully will carry me through the early game, but I lose very quickly, so sadly I was too greedy by going for both the book and the shield. This run is quite interesting. I get the item that permanently increases its damage by 5 if you only have unique items on every trigger. And I basically just say I'm gonna try it out and see if I get this going. And it gets strong really quickly actually. So I'm trying to buff it with both crit and its cooldown. And I think the item is just so strong at this point that it single-handedly can carry the game for me. Yeah, I just upgraded as much as possible, and that was the 10 trophies. Start another game, level up a couple times. Get some 15 gold items, combine them, see what I get. I don't have any gold going, so I don't really have a build going, so it's a little bit of an awkward start, but I get the money book, and so I decide to go for it. I get Pandora's box, which is a very nice start, and this time I will not also go for the golden shield. I do, however, go for the golden goblets, since I am always greedy for more money. But it does seem to work out. I have the elven orb and the elven dagger. That way I get to increase the multicast on my poison items. I also get the poison necklace, which increases the poison damage of all poison items permanently every time it triggers. And so I'm just going a basic poison build this run. And I do want to have a book in, but I'm also trying to upgrade all my slots, so it's just a little bit tight with space here. But I kind of manage, and because the elven orb gave the dagger so much multicast, I'm generating a lot of gold with the gold book, since the gold book generates gold on every dagger trigger. And this just allows me to get really strong really quickly and get to 10 trophies. So this might be my last game that I'm showing here, or maybe there's 2 more. I go for some upgrade, some level ups, some 15 gold items, and I'm not really sure what build I want to go here. I got like a flask that makes an item dark in my inventory. I also have the crystal bowl, and then I find the crystal spear that increases its damage by 2 for every debuff you apply. And that goes for every item. I also get the spear copy book, so every time the book triggers, it copies the spear below. And I just do a debuff build where I make the spear big and try to win in that way. So this build is, I think, always really strong if you get it early on. If you get the crystal spear and the crystal orb. And this will probably be an easy 10 trophies as well. Now, I've really been enjoying playing this game, even though I do have connection lost quite often and it does crash from time to time. It's still a really fun game, and I have a few more recordings, but in those recordings I do actually speak while playing, so I'll just post them as separate videos instead of having one big video with a bunch of games. However, I did just want to put these games out there, since these were kind of my first games of this game. And I wanted to show my learning process in a sense. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching if you did, and thank you as well if you decide to try out the game. I wish you enjoy yourself.